One morning, Percy was talking to James at the shed near the big station.
My God was telling me how lonely he is in his van. I think he ought to take passengers sometimes to cheer him up.
Well, he's not allowed to. It's against railway regulations. Guards are important, and passengers might get angry with them not looking after the trains properly,
snapped James.
Oh dear,
Percy said sadly.
Yes, I suppose they might.
They do it on the Midland,
put in Gordon.
Someone told me about it when I went to Carsley with that special. But they don't do it on the other railway. It's on some preserve lines where they haven't got any coaches.
You see, James?
Smiled Percy.
Oh, well, they haven't got any coaches, so that's different. I'm sure the Fat Controller wouldn't approve.
You never know,
said Percy, and he puffed away to collect his trucks from the harbour. Meanwhile, on the branch line, some passengers got out of Henrietta at the station by the junction. They all went through the ticket barrier, except for two, a man and a woman.
Ah,
said the inspector as he looked at their tickets.
You've come too far, I'm afraid, sir. You should have got out at the last station.
The two people looked at him. Then they looked at each other and shook their heads.
The last station. You must go back.
There was a long pause. Then the man spoke to the woman in a language that the ticket inspector couldn't understand a word of. So he asked a porter to bring the station master. A short time later, Percy came chuffing happily along the branch line with his trucks from the harbour. He saw the signal at the station near the junction was set at danger, and the station master waiting on the platform.
There must have been an accident. I hope nobody's hurt.
The station master came over with the two people.
I'm giving the guard these two passengers to travel in his van,
he said to Percy.
They're foreigners who came too far on Toby's last train by mistake. Will you stop at the station by the river to let them off, please?
Passengers?
Exclaimed Percy as the guard led them away.
But this is a goods train.
That's right, Percy. They're going to travel with the guard in his van.
But James says it's against it's not allowed.
Quite right, Percy. So it is. But I don't think the Fat Controller or James will mind us helping two foreign visitors to our island who don't understand our language. Do you?
That made it alright, of course. The guard made sure that his visitors were made as comfy as they could be in his van. And when the green flag waved, Percy was on his way again. A few minutes later, they reached the station they wanted, and the two visitors came to the front of the train to see Percy. They nodded and smiled and shook hands with the driver, fireman and guard, before the guard led them to the taxi which would take them on the rest of their journey. A few days later, Percy told Thomas all about the foreign visitors. They had sent his driver, fireman and guard a parcel with brand new scarves inside, and a letter addressed to the Fat Controller saying how splendid his railway was. Percy never told James.
It might make him jealous, and that would never do.
you know. All the other engines, they'll tell you so. He huffs and puffs and whistles, rushing to and fro. He's the really useful engine we adore. He's a really useful engine, you know. 'Cause the Fat Controller, he told him so.